Welcome back. The opening bell is just a few minutes away, but first, let's hit some hot tickers on the Yahoo Finance platform, and we're starting with BioNTech. Shares in focus despite topping estimates, or the stock is down despite topping estimates. This third quarter revenue fell sharply from the prior year, coming in at roughly $3 billion compared to the approximately $6 billion from last year. Our senior healthcare reporter, Anjalee Khemlani, is here with the details. Anjalee.
That's right, Brian. What you're seeing is not unexpected, as we know that demand for COVID vaccines has waned, and that is the only product that BioNTech has on the market. You heard me talk about this before with Moderna. We're seeing the similar pressure on BioNTech, despite the fact that it has a relationship with Pfizer, and that is what is keeping it afloat. We know that raise in the outlook for the year to $16 billion is a little bit based on that increase in demand for the bivalent shots. We saw Pfizer also raise its guidance for the year by about $2 billion on the same news. So that's where that raise comes from. We also know that they have a couple of things in the pipeline, but like I said, because it is the only product so far, a little bit of a question mark on whether or not they can really make good on the platform. They've got a few readouts, or rather updates on clinical trials and cancer vaccines and candidates for next year, as well as some other infectious disease areas that they're looking into that would start clinical trials next year. So a lot of next year on the books and in the outlook right now for where they're looking. And we also know that they have a little bit of good news with new orders coming in for the COVID vaccine, but also possibly tapping into that Chinese market for foreigners having access to the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine as opposed to the domestic Chinese, which we know have had some mixed reviews on efficacy. So that's the full picture for BioNTech right now.
So two key takeaways that I'm getting from what you just mentioned. One, and one of them perhaps should have been expected, is that we are seeing some of the year-over-year comps come in extremely light, at least on the vaccine front and the vaccination front, as we're starting to see that contract a little bit more, because the big wave, of course, was 2021 for that. But then additionally, all focus on research and development and the costs going back into figuring out other types of solutions for populations around the world.
As well as some of those trials that have already begun, or some candidates that are already in the pipeline, and getting getting progress on those, basically.
All right. Yahoo Finance's own Anjalee Khemlani, thanks so much for breaking that down for us this morning.